Could it be?
Yes.
Indubitably. I don't know, man.
It is definitely
Copacetic.
As I see it.
It's perfectly copacetic. Hello, and welcome to the first ever episode of It's Copacetic, the podcast where three men gather together to discuss all sorts of wonderful things. Today I am joined by my lovely co-hosts. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, I am John Bradley.
and I am John Harker.
And my name is Hyrum. And today we have all sorts of wonderful things to discuss. Anyone want to kick this off?
Well, I'd like to kick it off, first of all, by saying that two Johns in the show is going to get real confusing. So I propose that we call John Harker, and we can call John Bradley, myself. We'll just call me Brad.
That works for me.
Excellent.
All right, well, that works. Then we'll go for it. Just refer to me as Brad, and even though I normally respond to John. And John over there, we'll call you Harker.
That works.
John, Harker,
and Hyrum. You get your own name anyway, so
yeah,
voila.
Very unique, very creative.
Well, I've been thinking a lot this week about something to talk about, and the thing that I keep going back to, because, you see, I have children, and I have a daughter, and she's been watching a lot of an anime show called Heroes Academia or something along those lines.
Yeah, sure.
And so, have you guys heard of this show?
I've heard of it. It's called My Hero Academia. Okay.
Oh, My Hero Academia. Yes.
No.
So, what?
Academia? That's not how you say academia, dude. Come on. Do you even watch the show?
Academia.
Yeah, you gotta.
Yes.
Are you even a real anime fan?
Regardless. Anyway, I am fascinated by this because it's same thing. I have watched, I'm a fan of Naruto. I watched all the series of Naruto. Some of the extended shows, I haven't gotten through them all, but the original series that kicked it off, big fan of that. And one of the things about that style of animation, especially with the anime, is the whole inner monologue time dilation that is used quite frequently. And so I would like to discuss why and how that makes anime.
It's really, you could almost say it's the key thing that binds all animes together. The character finds themselves in a critical moment, about to make a decision, and they have to, in their mind, contemplate their own honor and the correct decision that must be made.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, because like some of it I can kind of roll with, but then there's other times where I've watched these shows and I'm all like, okay, now first of all, this character's never thought like that before. And so now all of a sudden, like, example, in the Hero Academia, they have these characters, and one of them's kind of like finding himself as a hero, and he's, they have these quirks and that, and he's getting to know his new quirk in that. But his inner monologues seem more along the lines sometimes as a seasoned hero rather than somebody who's like an amateur studying for it. He goes back and forth between I'm a coward to I can do this.
That reminds me of one of my fellow co-hosts, Harker. Harker, yes, are you Deku?
What?
Are you Deku? Have you seen the show, Harker?
Don't know what that means.
Oh my gosh.
But I do have something to add to the conversation. I've noticed that in these monologues, they're never wrong about what they're saying, right? Like everything they say is like considered pure gospel in their world. Like, they're never wrong. Everything they say is always perfectly correct, even if they have no reason to know what they're saying, Even if it's something they say out loud, like not just something they're thinking. If someone says he's the most powerful, then they're not wrong because they're in a stressful situation. They're always right. And
that's one of the flaws, I think, of it all. Because, like, you'll have this situation where, okay, so they get into a battle, right? And then one guy gets flipped over the other guy. So they come at each other, attacking each other. And one guy bests the other guy, flips him over his shoulder and slams him to the ground. And then you get this, like, glimpse of this, like, 5-minute inner monologue that supposedly took place in the split second of him slamming to the ground, where he's like, how did he see my attack coming? Could it be? Has he been superior all along? How can I achieve my end goal of defeating this character? And it goes on. And I'm just like, first of all, you're packing too much into one moment.
well, see, I think with some shows they don't go on for a really long time. They just kind of hit the points and keep going. But that can almost be even more jarring because they just say something really profound, but there's no development leading up to it, intellectually speaking. And so they just end up at this conclusion seemingly out of nowhere. And this is going on like 5 times every minute in the middle of a fight. And so as a viewer, you just get super disoriented. You're like, wait a minute, what's going on?
I know what I must do. Leaps into action. And you're like, what is he doing? You
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah. Well, and then, so this leads me to the second part of my theory about the inner monologue. I have a theory that anime is actually ruining our younger generation. Okay, now first,
The
before I
core
get into
evil
this,
rotting America.
I need to let everybody know I'm a seasoned person. I'm older. You know, I'm a middle-aged man. My co-hosts are much younger than I am. They're in their younger teens and 20s. And so to me, as I see it, I see these inner monologues take place in these animation cartoons that are very prevalent today. Mm-hmm, and then I have young children and I ask them to do something, and it takes them like 5 times longer than it ever took me as a child to do it. Like, I'll be like, hey, put your shoes on. We're going to go somewhere. And it's almost like as if I can see my son having an inner monologue about how he's going to take his shoes and put them on and be the most effective at it. But the problem is that he's taking the 5 minutes for that inner monologue rather than just putting on his shoes.
Well, you know, Brad, I don't know if that's something you can blame on anime or whether it's something you have to blame on the child.
I don't know. I'm just saying it's something I've noticed, and it's not just my kid.
Maybe
Anyway.
you're projecting your own inner monologue on them, you know? What is he doing? Could he seriously be thinking about how to get his shoes on? Why is he standing there? What will he do next?
I know. Maybe I need to start having an inner monologue while he's doing it, just to pass the time.
And then he could look at you and say, does he really know my thoughts? Does he know I don't want to put my shoes on and go to Home Depot? Find out next time on Naruto.
For the outro song, Home Depot theme just starts playing softly in the background, gets excessively louder.
Uh-huh. Anyway, what are your guys' topics for today?
So I've been saving up I have a few good ones, just absolute bangers of topics to talk about.
Wait, Hyrum.
Yeah.
Because I think that your topic will be better than mine, I say we have to build up to it, so I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead. Take it away.
So for my topic, I've been thinking a lot about vision, like our ability to see, right? And
Okay.
I've been thinking about that
Say it isn't so.
in the context of history. Like, what did dudes in the 1300s do when they couldn't see anything? What are your guys' opinions on this? Were they just like screwed?
Harker.
Was there like
There's a very simple answer to this.
I've been thinking.
They died.
They were screwed. They either died.
Like,
yeah, I mean they were out in the field and they didn't see the plow coming, and voila.
No, but then I don't mean like completely blind. I mean like you need glasses type blind. So like, because if that were the case, then we wouldn't have any people that need glasses today because they would have all died off, right?
I don't
And
think
so
that's
I'm
how
just
glasses
Well, in
work.
theory.
Like, I don't think it's like...
How
I don't think you have a genetic code that says, well, maybe. But I think it's just what happens, you know what I mean?
Wow. Hyrum the scientist. Well,
you see,
maybe.
if we analyze the genes of the average human, we can find out that approximately 50% of the population will lose their lines.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, this is my
Go
theory
ahead,
on it as an aged person.
An aged person?
I'm going with that. Yeah. As an aged person that wears glasses, I'm going with the fact that they likely stayed at home and worked the fields, and the vision was necessary, but not too necessary to the point. But I will give it, they probably starved to death because they started losing their tools and not being able to find them. Or they got really, really good at keeping everything where it belonged and hoped nobody came along to move it on them.
Well, I guess that's
my theory.
I guess this is one of those things that depends on like how blind you are, right? Because it's not like people who all have glasses all have the same level of faulty vision, right? So
Right.
I think it's one of those things that's interesting to think about, but it's a case by case sort of basis.
Well, and this probably where a lot of classes maybe originally started from. Certain people could see better, had physical attributes that were better than others, became superior to their counterparts around them as far as with being able to produce and survive. And so, I mean, definitely probably not a good thing for you back then as far as with finding a mate. They probably were looking for somebody who's not going to make their children blind as well.
Well, anyway, the way I see things is that, like, people who need glasses can still see. Like, we can still read things, kind of. And like, back in the day, you didn't need to read that much. And that's, like, the main thing you need fine vision for. Like, you can still see shapes and tools and whatnot. So I don't know how big of a problem it would have been for most people.
Well, I don't know. Try taking your glasses off and working in a field then. I guess that's probably what most people did back then, I'm assuming. I mean, I'm pretty sure they weren't the king's archers.
Oh, yeah.
Hunting food probably wasn't big on their agenda, seeing how they probably couldn't see it well enough to kill it unless they were setting snares or trapping. So it probably led you to a life of either trapping, snaring, or you became a farmer. Who knows, for all we know, maybe bad vision led to the fact that people started growing crops because they couldn't do other things.
Well, I don't know about that one, but okay. I mean, I think that was just like, hey, it's nice having food all the time and not having to run through the wilderness chasing a deer.
Well, I mean, that's a possibility. I'm just saying there's many factors that probably led up to any change in society. Vision could be one of them. But yeah, I think it's an interesting thing to think about, definitely, is, what did people do pre-glasses?
And the people have been trying to come up with solutions for these kinds of issues for a long time. For instance, I know of this one story, one of the emperors of Rome, he had rather poor vision. And in order to watch the gladiatorial fights, because, they had to judge on them, the Caesars did, he had a curved pane of glass, or a curved bowl with water in it that he'd use to watch the fight. So these ideas of fixing vision using tools have been around for a long time. So it just makes you think, like, was something like this available to the nobility, or was it a very unique thing at the time?
I don't know too many stories about cowboys in the Old West and people running around the Dark Ages with their bowl full of water. So I'm pretty sure it was just a nobility thing.
Hold up. I gotta get my bowl of water.
Just dealt with it.
Well, yeah, I know it's like just the nobility, but was it common among the nobility to use tools such as this? Or was it...
Well, I don't know. I'm not interested in discussing history at this point in time. I'm just discussing theory about what I can make of it.
According to the Wikipedia,
because I don't know.
The glasses were officially, in the typical sense of two magnifying lenses binded together, they were invented in 1200. So right around there.
Well, there you go.
And Italy.
Really?
And Giordano di Pisa made some glasses.
And while they were probably, like all things, while they were invented in 1200, I mean, when did they really become available
Probably
to the
not
common
for
person?
a few hundred years.
It's kind of like, I mean, look at the Bible. When did the Bible really become available to the common person? You know, it wasn't just handed out. Glasses probably weren't either. I don't recall any optometrists back in the 1400s.
Hear me. If you would like some lenses,
I mean, but
please
you
come
have-
to my office.
Because, you know, Galileo and those, they built telescopes. They used lenses to shape that. So, you know, the idea, and I there's the monocle. People often had, you know, they had corrective lens. It was just one lens that they had corrected rather than a set of glasses like we would see today.
Oh, speaking of monocle, did you guys see how they killed Mr. Peanut?
Oh yeah.
They offed him. They killed him. He's dead.
That's
they
not
did,
right.
dude. It was on like the Super Bowl, I think. They killed him.
Yeah, but you
And
can't.
he was
kill
reborn
Peanut.
from the ashes, and I'm pretty sure he like dabbed or something. Like it was this whole thing.
Yeah, there was like
Go, Mr.
There was a
Peanut.
baby
they made him
Peanut.
into like baby Peanut, and then he like over the course of like a month or so turned into a teenager Peanut. And it was
Well, that's probably because they had to get rid of his top hat and his monocle because that put on a snobbish era, and they're trying to remake their
But the
mascot into something
but the
more
baby Peanut just had the monocle and the top hat
relatable.
again.
Well, then they messed it up.
Holy crap! I just learned. Robert Downey Jr. voiced Mr. Peanut. What?
How did I not
That's
know
incredible. I wonder how much they paid him. My gosh.
that? I want to see Mr. Peanut in an Iron Man costume now.
Mr. Peanut is Iron Man. How do you not know there's a peanut inside of that costume?
Good question.
He didn't even die. He killed himself. He was
So he's suicidal Peanut now?
well, he did it to save some of his friends apparently, but he like let go of a branch and he fell and plummeted to his death.
That's a really gruesome way to kill off a Peanut mascot.
Dude, that's
Imagine
disturbing.
you're some old guy born in like the 20s and you're like on knocking on death's door,
Like-
you have a weak heart and you're watching the Super Bowl.
I mean, look at that. He even tips his hat to him before he like.
Plummets.
This is like, have you ever seen that show Cliffhanger? Well, was it Cliffhanger? I don't know. Remember Sylvester Stallone, where he's like a mountain climber,
Here, let's see.
and then he's like,
Cliffhanger.
gotta let go.
There's a movie called
I don't
it
think
was
it's
with
Cliffhanger. Sly, Sylvester Stallone, Rocky guy.
it looks like Sylvester Stallone. He's on a mountain. Yeah, I mean that's all I really know about.
Or like any of those epic. Well, there's that. You remember that one where what is it? I'm trying to remember the guy's name. Where they go, where storms hit the earth and the weather changes, and because the climate change
2012
show,
or whatever.
and then they're like, no, it's the one where he's like taking a trek. He's like a scientist, and he's going on a trek to rescue his boy who's in the library downtown New York.
Is this the day after
And-
tomorrow? Is that the name?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. Day after tomorrow, and then they fall through that like glass ceiling in a mall somewhere, and the guy has to cut himself
Like
free
Paul Blart.
to save the other two.
descend on the ball.
Yeah. So it's like that situation. They're like, oh, the tree's falling. And then there's no guarantee, from what I can tell in this, that these two are saved. I mean, they're still in quite a predicament.
Well, you know,
They're hanging on to a tree that's falling on a cliff, and this little tiny light peanut lets go and saves them. I mean, it's like, I don't think he's the problem. I'm just
Sacrifice
going
my
with that.
life. Mr. Peanut's willing to do anything for his...
No peanuts were harmed in the making of this video.
I think they were going for like a Baby Yoda thing. I think that's it.
Well, I think Mr. Peanut is probably one of the reasons why a lot of people think that the Monopoly Man had a monocle, even though he's never had a monocle, is because they both wear a top hat. You know that Mandela effect.
Blah,
blah,
you're
blah.
telling me he didn't have a monocle?
No, Mr. Monopoly has
But it would
never
work so
had a
well. Why
monocle.
wouldn't they give him one?
Well, yeah, it might work so well, but he's
Oh, you're
never
right.
had one.
no, but see, Hyrum,
His name is Rich
the
Uncle
Monopoly,
Pennybags.
the Monopoly guy is supposed to be like he's supposed to be representative of both the lower middle class and the high upper class. Monocles are like high up there, high status. They can't have the dude on the card of him going broke with a monocle on. That's not how that works. They needed a more ubiquitous character.
I don't know. I don't know too many high society standing around munching on peanuts. But anyway, I think they're just, whatever. Also, did you know that Chester Cheetah?
Chester. What happened to Chester?
The remake.
Don't leave me. They remade Chester.
The Chester Cheetah of the Cheetos brand. His little paws on his skin. They're like the spots on his
what does
skin
it spell out?
fur?
666 or something? This is like the Monster Energy can.
No. No, his spots are little paw marks all over. At least they were at one point in time. I don't know if they've changed that or not, but that's another Mandela effect thing where they're like, did he have paws or not? Or were they just regular spots? Like
I was looking at pictures of Chester Cheetah and I've seen the most disturbing thing ever. Scratch that. I can't even mention this. This is disturbing. But if you're in for a surprise, Google Chester Cheetah and scroll down in the Google images. Oh gosh, what is that?
Anyway,
there's some pretty sad costumes there. I'm going with that. What the heck?
So to move on from this.
Oh gosh.
So Hyrum, I believe you have a certain food brand you'd like to express
that's
your
bad.
feelings about.
That's real bad. I hate Cheetos. I'm just saying. I'm out of here on that one.
Who would want to see that?
Well, why are you still looking at it then?
I closed the page, Harker. It's gone now.
We're gonna get called out for defamation of the Cheetos brand.
No, the Cheetos are fine. Official endorsement of Cheetos.
Nobody
Cheetos are tasty and delicious. Please sponsor.
And most of these pictures
please sponsor us, Cheetos.
Most of these things I'm looking at here, cheetah on the Cheetos. Guys.
Please refrain.
Spots. But I think on the Mandela effect, they said his spots were little paw prints. But yeah, most of the images I'm seeing online here, they're just spots. I don't think they're little paw prints. I think that was like somebody mistook that from. There's some disturbing stuff here. I'm just saying. I'm just like the internet is bad.
Oh my gosh, dude. Oh, what is that?
So to move, let's move on. Let's.
What do you want to move on? Tony the Tiger? Just
no.
kidding.
Oh, dude, that reminds me.
I know that one of our.
There was this whole thing with Tony the Tiger on Twitter that the furries were like, Tony. The furries were like simping for Tony the Tiger.
Dude, I don't know anything about furries, so
yeah, we're saving that.
I'm just backing off from that because I don't know how to hang with you on that
next
conversation.
Episode, we're gonna educate you about furries. We're gonna have
you can educate him on that topic.
I'm adding it. It's gonna happen.
Okay. All right, Hyrum, what do you got for us?
Okay, so basically, I wanted to do a little segment here. It's one of our. We plan on having different segments as the show goes on that we loop back to eventually. And one of our theorized segments is Grinds My Gears. So basically the idea is I just pick something, or you guys could pick something maybe that just really, really gets to you, really disturbs you, and you just talk about it. And here's something.
Yeah, I can feel it.
What are we ripping off Family Guy now? Is that what we're doing?
What do you mean ripping off Family Guy?
There's a whole
what do you mean by that?
bit on Family Guy where Peter's on the TV and he's like Grinds My Gears segment. It's by the exact same name.
Gosh dang, well maybe we'll have to mix this up.
Are you serious?
I don't watch Family Guy.
I thought you knew.
I know the YouTube guy, and I've seen one of those, but I didn't know it was like a thing.
As somebody who doesn't watch that show regularly, I've seen a couple episodes in that. Like I can say I probably have heard him say, because it's like, hey, it grinds my gears. I can hear Peter Griffin saying that in my mind.
I don't know if it's like a recurring thing. I just know there's like a big meme about him on a TV with like as a newscaster. It's like grinds my gears in the background.
Like he didn't invent the phrase grinds my gears, okay? So
I know, but the idea of it as like I was just wondering. I thought this was where you based
Seth
it off
is going to be
of.
coming for you.
Oh no, please, Seth, leave me alone.
No, don't.
Oh god.
Anyway,
We get lawsuit papers in the mail.
So what if it's a
Sorry to
Family
ruin
Guy
the
ripoff?
mojo.
I didn't even know.
All right, Hyrum, what grinds your gears?
Ever since I was a child, you'd go to school and they'd give you these weird food types. There was always something there that I never really felt quite right about. Controversial opinion here, guys. Pop-Tarts are the worst snack to ever exist. Terrible. Disgusting. Don't like them at all. I mean, the bread is just yucky. It's like MRE military rations filled with like the most disgusting filling to ever exist. Pop-Tarts are trash.
Well, I'll go with you on this. Now, as somebody who typically likes to take his time with food and enjoy it when I eat it,
Indubitably.
I can confidently say that I've tried the individual pieces of Pop-Tarts, like the breading, the frosting, the filling separately. And I would agree with you. Separately, they are all trash, especially the breading. Like it's like some over-engineered health bread.
It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting.
Let's put sugar on it.
Just have a piece of toast. It's like 7 times better. Piece of toast with like a little bit of butter. It's almost easier to eat and it tastes way better.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, I guess it has its appeal. I mean, it's a big product. It's sold all over the country.
Hey, and you're forgetting this. The s'mores Pop-Tarts, those things are fine.
No, those are trash, dude. Those are disgusting. If you've ever had a real s'more, yeah. And I hate marshmallows. Like, I just have to throw that out there. Do not ever give me marshmallows. Hate them. Do not send me marshmallows. Do not give me marshmallows.
Well, then you're clearly not a very good person to ask about s'mores.
But s'mores are good. If you have a homemade s'more, it has a little something to it. I'm not a lover of marshmallows. I'm not going to seek out a s'more. But if I'm at a place where, hey, we're having s'mores and I pop one in, I'm going to like it.
It's just a good time.
But Pop-Tart s'mores, trash.
All of them are trash.
Okay. Other trash.
Okay, but here's a hot take.
Where's the chocolate? You got to have pure chocolate in the s'more. Not this like nasty fudge feeling.
Where's the chocolate?
No. Here's an idea. You get like a brown sugar Pop-Tart. You break it in half and then make a s'more with
that.
Those.
Already doesn't sound good. As soon as I hear the word Pop-Tart, I just assume it's going to be terrible. Because every time I've had Pop-Tarts, I've just been like, why? Why would you eat this? There's a million better snacks.
Well, let's take the individual characteristics of a s'more. You have the graham cracker, right? Now, the graham cracker, as a graham cracker, standalone snack out of the park.
Delicious.
It's delicious. Like, it's good. It tastes good. I mean, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but everybody tolerates a graham cracker, right? Then you have the marshmallow. I hate marshmallows. Marshmallows to me are trash. I hate them. I hate the texture. I hate it. But I mean, there is something to be said about the flavoring. It's pure sugar for crying out loud. I mean, it tastes all right. I just hate the texture of marshmallows. But the flavor, it's good. Right? Then you have the chocolate. I mean, come on. Hands down. Milk chocolate, dark chocolate, doesn't matter. Chocolate is delicious.
Amen.
Everybody's favorite.
That's all I have to say.
You put all 3 of those together, bam, out of this park. Then you go to the trashy Pop-Tart.
Preach.
And you got trash bread, trash filling, trash frosting.
Absolutely.
It's disgusting.
Exactly. Trash bread, trash filling. You want to talk good snacks? Look at a toaster strudel, okay? It's delicious, flaky golden bread, yummy jam insiding, and like they mix crack cocaine in the icing, dude. Like it's just the best thing you could eat. It's very similar, but worlds better.
Hey, what is the spokesman for Pop-Tarts anyway? Do they have those little elves on them as well?
They don't even have a spokesman. It just says Pop-Tarts. That's it. Lame.
See, there's another reason. The Pillsbury Doughboy, he brought that toaster strudel to town.
He whooped on
those Pop-Tarts. Go ahead, Harker.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Defend your Pop-Tarts.
I don't know if we should be using so many brand names in this program.
What are they going to do?
I don't.
Hey, dude, they put the product
is
out there.
my
I can like it.
opinion.
I can love it. I can
This
hate
is
it.
America.
It's
First
my
Amendment,
opinion.
Harker.
I mean, I suppose.
I suppose.
I suppose.
Hey, Harker.
Yes.
The only thing worse than a Pop-Tart. Whole wheat Pop-Tart.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Now,
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I've been playing devil's advocate up to this point, but that's about the truest
Oh, so you
thing
really
I've
hate
ever...
Pop-Tarts too?
Well, no, I think they're fine. I don't share the passion you guys supposedly have against Pop-Tarts, but it's not like I'm a fan of them. I just think...
Unfortunately, I have to admit that as a lazy man, if
Don't.
I walk into a kitchen and there's a box of Pop-Tarts laying
Say
on
it
the
ain't
counter,
so.
yeah,
No,
I'm going to
even.
eat it. I mean, I hate it. I hate to say it, but I'm probably going to bust into it, especially if it's a strawberry one, because I can tolerate
If I
parts
see you
of
eating a
that.
Pop-Tart in my household, I'm going to get a baseball bat and go straight for the kneecaps, and then you're going to be banned.
Well, then don't buy
I
Pop-Tarts in your house and you're good.
They won't be. No,
All right,
never.
there you go.
Not one step.
All right. Well, if let's hear it from the listeners. If you love Pop-Tarts or if you hate Pop-Tarts, write into copaceticpodcast@gmail.com.
I know some
and
people
tell
really
us.
love Pop-Tarts, but I just got to say, you're wrong. You're objectively wrong. And that's it.
I don't know how I feel about that.
It's clear as day. Okay?
I mean, there are worse foods out there. We gotta go.
I mean,
with that.
true.
There are worse foods.
Okay, but real quick, one thing I think most people can get behind, you know those like biscuits they give out on airplanes? I don't know when they started doing this instead of peanuts, but apparently they did it because it's less allergenic for a lot of people.
Yeah.
They started giving out those little biscuit things.
You give an 8-year-old
Those things are way better.
an 8-year-old with a peanut
Those things
allergy.
are way
he's gonna
better
die.
than they have any right to be.
I don't know if I have an opinion on the biscuit. But I will say, going back to something earlier, that baby Mr. Peanut, I can see how that's going to sell peanuts. Because, bro, that's a cute little guy.
I don't know. I think the whole internet was hating him for a while.
Well, see, but the thing is, they didn't even keep him as a baby peanut. Now he's like a teenager peanut. They ruined it. They didn't even stick to their guns.
They should have given it time. Maybe they messed up. I don't know. We'll find out when a lot of people start looking for a job who are in the marketing of peanuts.
I don't think it's a big enough thing for them to lose their jobs. I just think that...
Not everybody can hit it out of the park like Mr. Clean, right? I mean, it's obviously that the old Mr. Clean with the big old eyebrows that looked like they were going to come and strangle you. And then you got the new younger Mr. Clean who's...
gosh.
Most men can look at him and say, dude, that's a good-looking dude. But the old Mr. Clean, freaking scary.
Looked like he was going to come and clean out your savings account, not your kitchen.
Well, it's just like, I was just like, are you trying to appeal to women or somebody selling tires here? I mean, come on. Like, it's, although I will go with the new Mr. Clean, not a fan of the earring. Just like, come on. Can't we keep it just Mr. Clean?
It's
I
fine.
mean-
He's Mr. Clean. He has to relate to the
I never noticed
millennials.
Yeah, but why do you have to give him an earring? Why can't
It
he just, I mean,
shines
obviously
as a
he's
representation
cartoon
of how
character as
clean
it
he
is.
is.
I don't know what they're trying to tell by that story.
They're saying that they stay true to the good old Mr. Clean, but that they're also hip with the millennials at the Starbucks, drinking them shiny mocha latte, pumpkin spice. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're. That's what
I
they're up
don't
to.
know. All I have to say, with Halloween on our doorstep, if a Mr. Clean shows up at any of the parties I'm at, I'm gonna have to go the other way.
What
Well,
does that
you'll
mean?
be intimidated by his strong arms. Will you
Oh
like,
gosh!
what?
No, I'm just gonna be intimidated by the fact that he looks like somebody preparing to put on his Blue Man costume, like from the Blue
Dude,
Man.
if I thought there
group.
was gonna be,
but he hasn't quite got the paint.
if I thought there was
yet.
gonna be a Blue Man concert, I would get more people to the party. I'd be like, dude, get over here. The Blue Man group's about to perform.
Oh well, Hyrum, is there any other disgusting
You know,
foods that you
there's
don't
a
like?
few, but
besides
really
Pop-Tarts?
Pop-Tarts just stand out to me. You know, maybe we can make this a recurring Hyram's food corner or something. But, you know, we'll have to see.
We'll have Hyrum give the
Yeah.
food reviews. I'd have to say Pop-Tarts were a good
Pop-Tart,
topic.
I mean, they're disgusting. What can I say?
Just, I think we should just make a commitment for the future shows. Let's go ahead and keep furries out of the conversation.
But no,
Yeah, you know, I
I
can.
gotta teach you guys.
I can-
We're gonna have a little documentary.
No.
the furry culture.
No.
Well, I think whatever happens in the future for a first episode to kind of wrap things up, I think this has been perfectly copacetic.